Hey, Las Vegas, thanks for joining us back here on Vegas Realty Check, your local Las Vegas real estate news show. I'm Trish Williams.
And I'm Tiana Carroll. Welcome back, you guys. And this week we are going to be covering a bunch of headlines and things that are changing here in the Valley. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe so that way you're up to date on everything that's happening in Vegas. And make sure you come back next week, because next week we'll be doing our monthly market report with all the numbers.
All of the numbers that closed out from, what month are we? We're in August, so that closed out from
I don't know. It
July.
feels like...
It's almost Christmas.
I cannot believe you just said that. It is, okay, so summer feels like we just got into it because it finally got hot here in July, which...
This week has been cool, though.
Nice. Hey, the rain. Last night it was 76. I had the windows and doors open again. I was like, yay.
I know.
Of course, that's going to change.
Yeah.
It's already going back up, but today was nice. Yesterday was nice.
Yeah, this week's been, they gave us a little break from those triple digits. So we only had those triple digits for like a week. It felt like forever, but.
I think it was a little bit longer than a week because they were smashing records all over the country with the longest heat wave or whatever.
Yeah. But
it was warm.
Either way, it was warm, and it's not so warm right now. I mean, it's warm.
Yeah, but it really feels like relief compared to what it was. Because anytime you get over that 110 mark, it just feels so much hotter. 108, 106, it's so much more easy. It's easier to handle.
Right. And I have heard so many complaints over the last few weeks of people's power bills. Like insane. They must have did a rate hike, but also with the triple digit heat, like power bills have spiked like crazy. I don't, luckily I have solar, so I don't have to worry about this.
Right.
I'm looking at all this stuff that people are complaining about. I'm like, oh gosh, they gotta have solar. But yeah, that is, that's a big thing right now. People, I mean, I've seen people say their power bills are $900, $1,000 easy.
Oh, ow.
For 1 month.
Oh.
Yeah, so
they need to get better windows and fix that house. What's that about? That's a lot of power going out.
Yeah,
I saw a spike, but nothing like that.
Yeah, it's been a thing. It's been circling around. I've seen a lot of people complaining about it. And NV Energy will do a free energy assessment on your home.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, if you're struggling with this power bill and everything going on, contact them and see what they can do to improve your energy efficiency and bring those bills down.
Yep, they'll go through and talk about your windows and if there's pieces of drywall missing under your sink or your laundry room, how they patch that up and conserve energy that way. And then air conditioning, obviously, big thing here in the Valley. Everybody's real concerned about air conditioning, and why wouldn't you be, right? We do have those crazy summer months. But I guess a AC unit is only supposed to differentiate from the outside heat up to 30 degrees. Anything over that, you're just pulling power for no reason.
Wow.
So if it's like 100 degrees outside, you shouldn't be going to 65 because that's just pulling gain.
Yeah.
So even though our temperatures are higher, you should tick that thermostat up just a bit so you're in that 30 degree mark or 30 degree difference.
Right. And also another thing I learned a few years back is ductwork. Like that's, it's in your attic. You don't think about it.
Yeah.
Forget that it's there. But the sealing of the ducts where they go together and where they're sealed, that wears over time. And
like everything, it's maintenance.
Right. And you can lose so much cold air in your attic because you have that wearing around there. So
you get leakage.
Yeah, getting that sealed and getting that fixed can actually improve your energy efficiency and make your home cooler. So
and these are some of the things that NV Energy will go through if you wanted to make your house more efficient. And so you're not spending $1,000 a month. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Don't spend $1,000 a month. Get solar.
Yeah. No. And solar. But there's a lot to consider when you're getting solar, especially in the real estate aspect. I would advise everybody, if you're thinking of getting solar, talk to your realtor because there's some things that have a major effect on the real estate sales in solar, depending on the type of solar you're getting, what you're doing with it. Are you purchasing it? Are you leasing it? Are you buying seeing it free and clear. So that has a lot of things. And, no one really thinks I should call my real estate agent for this, but you really should.
You should. They should definitely get a handle on it, because sometimes if you have, let's say, a unit that you're still paying for on that solar aspect, that's going to be part of the new buyers buying power. They're going to have to qualify for that.
Yes, absolutely. And just a lot of factors. So yeah, if you're considering solar, reach out to your realtor and find out the pros and cons. And you can always reach out to us because we're very versed on it.
We know a thing or two about solar.
Unfortunately.
Right? It's not supposed to be in my wheelhouse, but here it is.
But found out the hard way. So this week we have single family inventory still low, 33.
Oh man, 5 minutes into the show and we haven't even got to our numbers yet.
Yeah. Well,
all right, here we go.
3362 single family homes on the market. 52 of those are contingent upon sale. So those are up for grabs for a better offer or a stronger offer. And how many sold do we have?
We have 492 sold this week, and so that's half of July and the beginning of August now, because it was the first few days. But next week, like I said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe and come back to us, because we'll be going over the full month of everything that happened in sales and reductions and days on market, yada yada, next week.
Yeah. And we're still having a bit of price reductions. I mean, a few years back, I remember these numbers being in the thousands, so I'm still not shocked by them at all. But we had 382 this week.
Right, which puts it at something like 11% of our single family homes were reduced.
Yeah, so definitely not.
And all by very little margins. I saw so many $1 reductions on the list this week. I was like, really, you guys?
They're
$1?
so cute.
Yeah.
So
I think the highest one this week that I saw was 7.8% of a reduction. That's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
But the rest of them were like, nah, nothing.
Yeah. Well, that shows motivation. Whenever you see those big chunks of reductions, that's sellers saying, I need this home sold. Jump on it
immediately. Let's off this house.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. Yeah, business is still flourishing. Lots of people buying. Lots of people. Not lots of people selling.
Okay, but it's a weird market right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the only one thinking this. It is so weird because it is so house by house basis.
I know.
It makes. And usually we make the jokes like, oh, it's the beauty contest. Make sure you make your house presentable, smell good, let's stage it, what have you. But it's not so much that it's a beauty contest right now. Each home is so individual. You can get multiple offers in a subdivision for one house and no offers for another house in the same community.
Yes.
What is happening in this world?
And there is no rhyme or reason to it. I've been seeing that too, and it's like, why does this one have multiple offers and this one doesn't, when this one looks like it clearly should? What's going on here? That is different.
Yeah, and apparently it's not just Vegas. Real estate, obviously, very localized. And but I've been talking to agents in other markets, and they're like, "Oh no, it's the same here." I just talked to a friend who's in DC, and they're like, "It's house by house." I talked to Milwaukee is seeing a big growth, like something like 9 or 12% appreciation this year, and they're like, "It's house by house." I'm like, okay.
And that's something too, is that a lot of times I feel like the buyers, once they see something has multiple offers, it makes them want it more.
No, so psychologically, that is a very real thing. Like whenever I'm training a new agent for an open house, I'm like, if you have multiple cars or whatever, have those cars dropped off at the house and show that there's interest. Because when people come, like say into a cul-de-sac and they drive by an open house, if no cars are there, they just do the drive-by and move on. But if there's a couple cars sitting out there, they're like, oh, this must be desirable. I need to go see what's going on. And then they come in the open house.
Yeah, it
is crazy.
People want what other people want.
Terrible.
Yeah. So, okay, RJ, Review Journal, Las Vegas Review Journal, reported that the Los Angeles to Las Vegas speed rail is closer to being a real thing. This really might happen, and projected for 2027.
Right.
So what moved it a step closer is they have the Clark County Commission approved a resolution that supported a $375 billion grant that is an application from the U.S. DOT. And this is planned to be built along the I-15.
Right. So it's my understanding that it's right there in front of those, the tower, what is that, Blue Diamond and Las Vegas Boulevard. Is where the hub should be projected, which across the street when we went to the perspective that we talked about, they said that that's right across the street is the acreage that they're entitlement for to build that entertainment complex, hotels, restaurants, stadium, all happening right there. So in the future, the very near future, it seems like, I would say, what are they projecting, 25?
2027.
Oh, okay, 27. Okay, not as near, but still.
It's not that far away.
No, it's not that far away, but that's really going to change how people get to Vegas from California, and we already see so much traffic and tourism from them.
Right. Well, one thing I was thinking last night is Californians are used to taking 2-hour drives to work. So will there be people that are
commute?
Yeah, that actually live here and commute back there to work because it's way more affordable to live here.
It is much more affordable to live here. But not for long. Our affordability seems like it's getting out of control. Everything that I've seen from like Morningstar and Goldman Sachs and whatever, the big concern is affordability, and we're not cheap anymore. Now we're median home, just like the rest of the big urban cities.
Yeah, but we are cheaper taxes and everything than California at the moment. At the moment.
Yeah.
And so one of the big concerns with this is the Federal Railroad Administration had they had to do a study, and they determined that it's going to have no significant environmental impacts that are caused by it. So that is what resulted in their approval of this this resolution for the grant that they were working on.
So no carbon footprint.
Yeah, well, I don't know no carbon footprint, but no significant environmental impacts. Let's quote that there.
Okay,
So.
No significant environmental impacts, which is good. And I have to say, our city planning or commission, everybody who's sort of keeping track on the growth of our city, they're pretty good about making sure that the things they bring to the valley are, in some aspects, sustainable.
Right.
There's always forward-looking when they're working on these developments and granting permits and licenses, and in this case, grants.
Yeah, absolutely. So another thing that we came across in the news is, well, first off, there was a recent report by Redfin that said that we were leading the nation in the drop in luxury listings. And I'm not seeing that.
So there's luxury high-rises going in Summerlin now, slated to go in Summerlin. And then it was just released that there's going to be luxury high-rises put in McDonald Highlands.
Yeah.
They're going to be the Four Seasons residents. And there's going to be 171. Actually, I think we have a slide of the Four Seasons residents. If you take a look on the screen, it's beautiful, right? That's going to be on the tippy top of the mountain on McDonald Highlands. There's going to be panoramic views, 171 residents. So if you're looking for that branded lifestyle, you want the Four Seasons luxury life, that's going to be available. Then we have luxury homes being built.
And custom homes, we have Ascaya that's over in McDonald Highlands, Ascaya. And just there are so many luxury new homes being built, as well as the existing. So I think their numbers are skewed. Maybe they're not looking at all the new homes. And Summit
and we have Ascension going in Summerlin that they're just grading the land for now because they've went ahead and finished Skyview.
Yeah. So there's I don't feel like those numbers are right. And following that, We have another, Las Vegas over the last couple years has been hitting numbers as far as like highest price luxury listings available and being sold and everything. Those numbers are getting higher than we've seen them before in the Valley.
Right. Like this week, we just had another mega mansion come on the market for $23 million.
That must be the one that I was about to talk about. The one over in the Summit Club, 23.5. That home is 9,827 square feet. It's on the market right now. 5-bedroom, designed and built by Blue Heron, has an outdoor kitchen, 3 retractable flat screen TVs, elevator, pizza oven, cabanas, and 2 zero-edge pools and 2 spas. So you have a guest pool and spa.
I think everybody needs a guest pool. Do you really want to be outside enjoying the weather with your guests? Come on.
Of course not. Of course not. They need to be in their own pool separate from you. So
right. Here's a guest wing with a guest pool. Glad you came to visit. Got to go by.
Yeah, and Blue Heron must like this guest pool idea because their model home that they have over in Roma Hills, the Obsidian, the Obsidian model. That one also has a guest pool and a guest spa. So
that one has multiple pools. There's like a guest pool. There's a dog pool. There's an owner's pool.
And the dog shower. Mm-hmm. The dog shower. That's a new thing. We're seeing that a lot now, especially
which I love
in luxury.
Luxury, like the house that you're talking about. That house, the laundry room is amazing.
Yeah.
It has a dog feeding area, watering area, dog wash area, plus your laundry room, plus a seating area and a desk for work and what have you. That's the kind of laundry room you need.
So you have a doggy spa. Let's not call it a laundry room anymore. It's the doggy spa.
Right? Which I think your little doggy would appreciate that because he's a little pampered princess, that one.
He would love that.
When people walk by him and don't look at him, he's like, hello, did you not see me right here?
Did you not see my wrinkles? I'm cute. Hey. What I love most about this house over in Summit Club is its address.
Oh, what is its address?
11051 Witchcraft Court. I love it. I want to live there.
She's like, that's me. That's me. If you don't know Trish, every year she is for Halloween, she is a variation of a witch. Sometimes she's
some kind of witch.
Yeah, some kind of witch. It could be a good witch, a bad witch, a whatever witch, but she is always some kind of witch on Halloween.
Yes. So I love it. Love the name of the street. It's great. If you want to check out that house or you want some more information on it, you can contact either of us. We'd be happy to get you details or schedule you a showing.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
All right.
So did you see that Goldman Sachs came out with their report forecasting for the home prices through 2026?
Yes, and they are supposed to be doubling?
They're pretty dang close to doubling what they were from not the height of the pandemic, but the height of the pandemic. We're getting back into that range. So they're saying, according to Goldman Sachs in an article, they're saying that this year we're going to see about a 1.3% growth overall, which isn't much. Then we're going to see 1.7 in 2024, 2.5 in 2025, and about 4% in 2026, bringing us not almost double, about 10% over the height of the 2022 home value.
Okay, 10%'s not double, so I was totally
10%.
wrong there.
No, and you got that from me because I read another article with Redfin saying double, so I confused the two articles when we were at lunch yesterday. So that's my bad.
Okay.
And now I've got it corrected. It is about 10% over what we saw at the height of 2022.
Well, that doesn't sound like a crash prediction to me.
Well, historically, on the average since 1975, when they started recording this, the average growth has been about 5.5%.
Yeah.
So it's going to be less growth than what our average is, but overall, it's still growth.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
We're not declining.
And it's definitely, if you're looking into home ownership or you want home ownership, you should definitely have that and make a goal towards that and start sooner than later because those prices are not anticipated to go down at all.
Right. And so sort of the same thing with the prices not anticipated to go down. Was it Redfin? let me look at my notes real quick. No, it was Goldman Sachs. They were talking in this same report about house prices going up, on what they were going to see a decline on interest rates, seeing if we are going to really dip down the way that we have. And they said that pretty much 6% is going to be the average standard. They expect some time in 2024 for it to go down to about 5%.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about 4s and 5s over next year, so we're hoping to see that.
Yeah.
But that will cause prices to spike again, of course. So I don't know. You get the good and the bad.
Yeah. And then they also referenced that the decline in 2009 was about 20%. So for us to go ahead and raise 10% over pandemic height is so much better than losing 20% like in 2009.
Yeah, and I really think those like great recessions, or whatever you want to call them, those substantially impacted recessions are something that is I really don't think we're going to see something that impactful in our generation. Maybe later on, but it's something, even the Great Depression, it's like there's 30, 40 years in between when those big events happen. So I don't think that we're seeing anything like that anytime soon.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be going that way according to the numbers. Who knows? The whole world's crazy right now, though.
The world has always been crazy, and it will continue to be crazy.
Yeah, the world is crazy. Here we are.
Yeah, so we're becoming those old people that just like are what's happened to the world that we used to know.
Right.
Getting into that, we will be talking about the world we used to know in a minute here. So.
Right. Well, Morningstar did an article, and I didn't get all the way through it this morning. I saw it. It said that affordability will be returning by 2025.
Okay.
And I'd like to see what all of the factors that they're using are going into that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes it's hopeful news.
Right?
We hope.
Same company, 2 different days gets 2 different stories, so it's all a gamble.
And they put it out there. So other things happening here in the valley. So this is far northeast on the valley, and I'm talking far northeast, like as far northeast as you can go. Sunrise Mountain, which is actually, everybody in Vegas calls it Sunrise Mountain. It's not Sunrise Mountain. It's called Frenchman Mountain.
It is Frenchman Mountain, but it's Sunrise Mountain.
Yeah, I mean, it's where the sun rises. Yeah, but it has been, it's been named incorrectly. There's Hollywood Boulevard up along that street there.
Yeah, we also have a slide for that, too.
Do you? Oh,
yep.
Beautiful. So that shows where it's going to be going. So Sunrise Mountain is a very hard to access part of town.
Right. There's no easy direct access to it.
Yeah, you can get off Charleston or Lake Mead off of the freeway to get up there, but it's still like 20 minutes to get all the way up the hill if you're going all the way up past Hollywood. And there's a lot of homes out there. There's a lot of people that live out there, and access is an issue. So finally, they're planning to do something about it.
Yes,
and
they are. The Hollywood Boulevard extension.
Yes, and I am so excited about this. It's going to be a 10-mile extension.
From Vegas to Galleria.
From Vegas, from Hollywood Boulevard to Galleria.
But it's starting from where
Vegas Valley. Yeah. Because right now when you go Hollywood, you get to just past Vegas Valley. They actually just opened up Desert Inn over there to extend through, but you can't go any further. You'll hit a dead end because you're going to hit the wetlands park.
Right.
So they're opening that.
They are opening it. Not only are they opening it, they intend to go right over the wetlands park.
I seen the bridge in their design there, which was pretty awesome. It's still in the designing stage, but they're estimated to start construction this fall. They're doing some more things in the area, so I think that this is all playing into the same thing. So they just recently opened, it's a big Hollywood Regional Park, 76-acre park out there.
Right.
They're still adding on to it, but it is open and running. It has 4 soccer fields, 8 pickleball courts, 4 dog parks, 2 miles of walking trails, an amphitheater. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
So they're working on that area and getting it back up. I feel like they're actually doing something because it's one of those like forgotten parts of town.
Yeah, and they're trying to tie it into work and stuff in Henderson, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be from Sunrise Mountain through the wetlands coming into Galleria, so right there in Henderson, giving everybody access, which should alleviate a lot of traffic coming in through the I-15 and Boulder Highway. It'll be an alternative, sort of dispersing some of that.
And that will do really great. That is, if you've never been up there, there's so many people in town that have never been up there.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It's a beautiful area. When I was a kid, I remember just driving down Hollywood and looking at all the mansions. There's a lot of beautiful big homes there.
They have amazing views on Hollywood, because you have all of Mount Charleston, Red Rock, the Strip.
Yeah, some of the best views from the city are up on Hollywood. And there's a lot of, we were talking earlier that we need to do a show here in the future sometime soon.
Yeah.
Of Vegas folklore.
Right. All of the sort of rumors and mysteries around our little town.
Around real estate. So it all ties back to real estate in Vegas. There's a lot of things that are just interesting about Vegas that are kind of forgotten with everything new happening and all the new things. We tend to forget history. One of the things when I was looking up just details and facts on the Sunrise Mountain or Frenchman Mountain area last night was the story about Miss Morgan.
The original squatter.
She was the first squatter in Las Vegas. Or prospector, right?
Oh, prospector. That's
Prospector.
Right. Because she didn't actually take somebody's property. She just took a cave and said, "This is mine."
She took property. There was a cave out there on Sunrise Mountain, and she made that her home. And there is lots of recordings online about this cave woman, where people went out and interviewed her, recorded them. So there's audio online of this, and it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting stuff. So if you have some time, check it out. It's fun, interesting stories, and that happened up there. The woman that lived in the cave, also all over town, and I don't know. You asked me if it's still there or if some of these are still there, and I don't know if they're still there. I think the Bee is still on the mountain by Basic.
I've seen the Bee.
Right. So old tradition for the high schools in Las Vegas was, their football games. And they would go up and mark up the mountain for whatever school won or something like that. They would hike up there and, change the letters. And
make it was a big old chalk initial.
A big old initial on that. So it was a thing. And I don't think it's there anymore. Now I'm going to be looking for it. But there was always an E, and I think it was sometimes an R over on Sunrise Mountain that for El Dorado High School or Rancho High School that was up there for a long time on the mountain for the school, and that property was actually owned by Fay Wray.
Fay Wray. So the old school old-time actress?
Yes. So she was from the 1933 King Kong movie.
Okay.
And she blew up and just, had a very big problem with the E being on her land. So had it removed, and another property owner, because they wanted to keep the tradition going, so they put it over on their property. And I guess for the city, they had to give an explanation of why it was there. And the lady's name was Eleanor, so she said the E is for Eleanor.
so she claimed it, and El Dorado will have it. Okay.
Yes. So that is fun. And the Bee is still there for Basic. I don't know if there's any lettering still up on Sunrise Mountain. I'll have to take a look at that. Also up there in the area, which I guess it's kind of irrelevant, but I thought it was interesting enough to talk about.
Okay, what do you got?
So there was a haunted mansion, so-called haunted mansion, up in the area that is up past Hollywood, all the way up to the end of Owens out there.
Okay.
And it is no longer there. It's gone. They demolished it. All that's remaining,
as we do in Vegas,
is a slab. Yes. So it was rumored by apparently a bunch of high school kids.
Yeah. Well, it's just the what's the old game, the telephone where you
Yeah.
say things into people's ears and it's never the same message when it comes back around the circle.
Right.
These rumors start, and the rumor went around town.
Yeah, it went around town that it was a haunted orphanage.
It was an orphanage that had burnt down or been damaged, so then
That
it
had
was
been burnt down,
right,
and,
the kids were
all the kids died, and it was haunted. Well, it was a 10,945 square foot home,
big old house,
1,800 square foot garage,
like 5 acres.
Yeah, almost 5 acres, and it had a basement. However, there's never been which is an interesting fact, never been an orphanage known to be in Vegas.
Right.
So,
So that story can't be real.
That story could not be real. Legend said it was burned down in a fire. Well, according to an LV Sun report, there was a fire. And the fire caused about $200,000 worth of damage back in 1996.
Yeah, but nobody wants to talk about some rich guy's house burning down. We'll be like, it was an orphanage. There's ghosts. Those poor kids. My goodness.
Yes. And the fire was real. No deaths or injuries reported from the fire.
Thank goodness.
The home was originally built in 1994, so it was only 2 years old. It wasn't like some historic orphanage, and that story got debunked. So. There
So
you
now
go.
you're just debunking our folklore?
Yeah,
Come on,
debunking your
man.
folklore. So all the kids that went out there, because apparently this is why they ended up demolishing it. There was a bunch of high school kids, I assume, that would go out there and go inside the house and say that they were being haunted by ghosts in there, and the children were coming out to haunt
Chasing them.
So whatever they imagined did not happen.
Yeah, well, good for them and their imagination, scaring themselves out for no reason.
Yeah. So if you guys have any great, interesting, old Vegas stories, we'd love to hear them. We'd love to put a show together about it, or even a series of shows about it on our show.
Yeah, we want to compile that. So go ahead and leave it in the comments or email us, Vegas Realty
VegasRealtyCheck@gmail.com.
I almost got that out.
Yeah, let us know. We'd love to hear the stories, fact or fiction, or fact or fiction.
Yeah, let us
Yes.
know. We will check it out, see if it's anything that we want to talk about here. But we like all these old stories.
Yes, true or not. We want to hear the rumors and the gossip and everything. So let us know. It'll be fun to talk about. And Tiana, if
Yes.
anybody wants to talk to you about real estate, if they're looking for a haunted mansion, who do they contact?
If you're looking for a haunted mansion, I am definitely the girl to contact. You can reach me at 702-379-9948. That's my cell. I always have it with me. Anything real estate, feel free to call me. And if they wanted to get a hold of you, how
Hey,
did they get a hold of you?
If you want to sell your haunted mansion, if the ghosts are just getting out of control, I can help you.
But sometimes you don't need to sell. We could just go in there and cleanse.
Let's sell it. So
She's like, we have a shortage of inventory. We're going to go ahead and sell that.
Yeah.
Right now, it's fine.
So you can reach me at 702-308-2878. That's my cell phone number. Again, best way to contact me. And you guys can tune in here and see us every week on Vegas Realty Check. Next week's going to be our market update. Make sure that you tune in. Make sure you see what's happening in the market, what happened through closing of July. And we'll be with you all the rest of the year. And from here
make sure
forward.
you do all the things with all the buttons like, share, and subscribe so you're here with us next week when it all happens. Until then, we'll see you later. Bye, Vegas.
Bye, Vegas.